From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
A local resident says an absentee landlord and some sketchy neighbors are responsible for some break-ins at her home. Her neighbors say, no way. Who's to blame for the break-ins on Spruce Street? Our top story on News 13 for this Thursday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. No one was home to catch the thieves, but a woman in Hazleton thinks she knows who robbed her house, but nearby suspects say not so fast. Christina Papa joins us in the studio to sort of sort things out. Christina?
Kathy, the story began when Evelyn Zerdin called News 13 looking for help. Her home was recently robbed and she had a hunch it was her neighbors next door who did it. She didn't know what to do, so we stopped by her street today to investigate.
I lived here all my life. There was never a problem. I just feel very unsafe, intimidated, violated, and I don't know. What do you do?
Evelyn Zerdin double checks the locks before she leaves her house, and for good reason. 2 weeks ago, her home on East Spruce Street was robbed.
Stolen money, a gun, and the camera. That came to $1,000, $500 cash, and the gun and the camera.
But it was the way the robbers got in that has Evelyn suspecting her neighbors of stealing her stuff.
And I noticed something odd around my air conditioner. It was pushed in, and then it was replaced.
This small window in the back of her home is pretty tough to get to. She thinks the neighbors waited till she was out of the house, then pushed their way in.
To me, it's so close that they know my routine of going out. When I was working 10 hours a day from December to April last year, there was never a problem here.
Evelyn blames her list of bad neighbors in the past on an absentee landlord who lets anyone live next door.
My life was threatened. I had to move up to Hilltop, and that's when I purchased the gun. Never used it, but now it's stolen on me.
The neighbors next door, they're a family of 4. They say they have nothing to do with the break-in. They're blaming someone else in Hazleton.
I don't know. She has a problem of not minding her business, I guess. I don't know.
Raul Velez moved in next door less than 3 months ago with his wife and 2 sons. He watches over his house and isn't looking for trouble.
I wouldn't let that happen. It's my place. Why would I let somebody else from somewhere come over here and rob the lady next door?
So if it's not the neighbors, then who robbed Evelyn?
I have no idea, but whoever did it, they knew what they were doing because obviously they knew she weren't there, you know? I have no idea. I wish I could help her out, but if they want, they could, do fingerprints and all that. I guarantee you it's not going to be mine on there.
Evelyn won't be satisfied till she gets answers. For now, she says she's more afraid than ever.
But what do you do when you don't feel safe? And then you go to all the authorities, and I mean, they can't help you. They're not going to come here and hold my hand and to make me feel better. So what do you do?
Now, Raul says he's been trying to make peace with Evelyn. He thinks the best thing to do for each of them, just mind your own business.
And hopefully no more crime in that area.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks a lot, Christina. Well, a Pottsville man is dead following a 2-car crash on Route 61 near the Cressona Mall. State police say 65-year-old James Gorski was about to turn his Volkswagen Jetta onto 7 Stars Road when he crossed into the path of a truck driven by 38-year-old Thomas Salvadora of Shenandoah. Salvadora couldn't stop in time and slammed into the passenger side of Gorski's truck. Police say both vehicles skidded about 100 feet before they stopped. Gorski was pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver wasn't hurt. A Hazleton woman was arrested last night when she apparently left the young children she was caring for at home alone. Neighbors called police when they realized the 6-year-old and 9-year-old children were left all by themselves. When Hazleton police responded, they found the kids all alone and started looking for the woman who was their guardian. They eventually tracked down 48-year-old Andrea Pena, who told her to come home, where they arrested her for endangering the children. Neighbors say they often see children playing outside unsupervised, and one neighbor says this behavior isn't unusual.
I've seen in the last few weeks the children from down the street up here running around playing by themselves with, it seemed like no supervision. They were here sometimes 10:30 at night, and I often wondered if their parents knew they were here.
Andrea Pena was charged with 2 counts of child endangerment. She's free on bail tonight. Schools in Pottsville are about to get a whole lot safer. The Pottsville Area School Board has moved forward with adding armed officers to patrol its buildings. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, if the worst happens, the district is giving them full authority.
It's been a slow, steady work in progress.
For the past 6 months,
Pottsville School Superintendent Jeffrey Zweibel says he and the school board have been working on a new procedure to hire armed guards for Pottsville area schools.
It's very similar to the policy that's in effect with our city police department, and we pretty much just mirrored their policy, and the use of deadly force is the absolute last possible step.
According to the policy, the guards are allowed to use, quote, deadly force if need be.
None of us have asked for the type of world that we live in right now, and it's sad that we have to focus on this part, make this part of the education process.
Dr. Zweibel says the new procedure is a direct response from the massacre in Newtown, Connecticut from last December. He says times have definitely changed since he was in school, but the National Rifle Association says it's the schools that need to change. Just a week after the Connecticut shootings, the NRA's executive director came out saying schools need to have armed guards because, quote, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Still, he failed to mention how schools would pay for the guards. Zweibel says the school had to move some money around to pay for about a dozen part-time officers at $18 an hour. But he says it's worth it for student safety.
To have the students be a little more relaxed, hopefully, that they can focus on their studies, and the staff also. Hopefully this is one more thing that we can take off of the students and the staff members' plates.
Now, there aren't any armed guards on school grounds just yet, but the school says they do plan on rolling them out within the next few weeks. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
And still ahead on News 13, we may be in for a bumpy night as storms move through the region this evening. We'll tell you what you can expect coming up on News 13 weather. But first, one local legislature brought together every resource you could possibly need if you're an active adult. We'll take you to the big Expo coming up on News 13. Well, it was one-stop shopping for active adults today at the Laurel Mall, but we're not talking about the stores. Christina Papa was there to check out all the free goodies and info at the Senior Citizens Expo.
Every year I come, and every year I make myself have fun.
With over 78 vendors and free back massages, Pat Reno didn't have trouble keeping busy at the Senior Expo at Laurel Mall in Hazel Township today.
Well, yeah, and you go and you get your pencils and you get your tablets, and then you get free advice. You get free circulars.
It was a one-stop shop for seniors looking to fill their goodie bags and get a free checkup, thanks in part to Representative Tara Toohill.
We have healthcare providers, so seniors can come here. They're getting flu shots, glucose testing, everything's free. We have a lot of giveaways for the senior citizens.
Getting a checkup and staying healthy is very important. Greater Hazelton Health Alliance had 8 tables set up today. There were lines of people waiting to get their quick and easy checkup.
We're getting the highest number of participants for our blood screenings, such as cholesterol and glucose.
And getting a checkup doesn't take too much time.
And then just a little pick, like so.
Doesn't hurt at all.
And it only needs a tiny drop of blood. And the whole test takes about 5 seconds then. Your blood sugar is beautiful. It's 88. That's perfect.
Once seniors got their glucose tested, it was time to do a little shopping.
And I got pill boxes and I got chips, pretzels, candy. It was like trick-or-treating. Like, it brought back old memories when we were little kids out, Halloweening together.
Seniors were happy to see Representative Toohill taking advantage of the day, talking with seniors about the real issues.
And they are talking about property taxes. So when we go back into session September 23rd, I'm going to be able to go down to Harrisburg to the Capitol and tell everyone else there, listen, this is what the people in my district need me to work on the most.
Toohill says she plans to host the Senior Expo in years to come, and seniors were happy to hear it.
Keep doing it to help the senior citizens. A lot of good health information for senior citizens. It is a good thing, the Senior Expo.
Christina Papa, News 13, Hazel Township.
That was even more fun than I thought it was going to be. Well, time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service, and let's get right to that nasty-looking radar. Plenty of storm action out there. It's going to stick with us through the evening. Reports all over the place of trees down, a lot of heavy rain, heavy winds. If you're traveling, be careful out there. Well, I wish today's Day was more like our creative condition. It's by Tyler Gardner, a student at Hazleton Elementary Middle School, and you can see it's a nice sunny day in his neighborhood. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Showers and thunderstorms right through the evening, well into the overnight. Some of those storms could be severe, just like last night, so be careful. A low around 54 degrees. And for Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 61. It'll be cloudy at night with a low down to 43. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, showers and thunderstorms right through the evening. Some of those storms could be severe. In Schuylkill County, there could be some large hail. There could be some damaging winds. There's definitely going to be some heavy rain. Please be careful. The low getting down to 57 degrees. But for Friday, things clear out. It'll be partly sunny with a high near 66. The overnight low down to 43 degrees. Well, with Obamacare months away from taking effect, millions of new people will be eligible for health insurance next year, and that has some hospital systems expanding to meet the need. Matthew Petrillo gives us a tour of the new Geisinger practice in Origsburg.
When Obamacare goes into effect, it will extend federally subsidized health coverage to an estimated 7 million uninsured Americans. And all those people need a new home, in regards to health clinics, that is. Dr. Donald Moyer is a pediatrician at Geisinger Origsburg, and he says its new home can treat your whole family under one roof.
So we do have a pediatric service here at our clinic, but we also have the opportunity for a nice handoff. So as your children get older and they want to transition to family practice, the family practitioners know me, I know them, and I can do a nice handoff rather than traveling to another clinic.
Geisinger has operated a health clinic in Origsburg since 1998, but it just moved down the road into a new building to meet a growing demand of clients. And it has everything from an X-ray room, procedure room, pediatric area, and much more, which they say makes patient care more efficient.
It's nice for the doctors, once they have the exam done, they can look at the images since it's a Geisinger clinic instead of having it outsourced and only being able to get the report.
But what if you need, say, a prescription? Now, if you do need a prescription, this place is your one-stop shop. They've got a pharmacy right on site inside the practice.
You can actually be seen here, right in the office. The doctor's going to prescribe it, and then the prescriptions are sent directly to our pharmacy, which is on site. It's a matter of seconds, and your prescription is filled.
And patients say they love the convenience.
I came for a shoulder pain and saw the doctor, got an X-ray, and coming to pharmacy now. It was a piece of cake. It was awesome. I didn't have to leave and schedule an X-ray in another town. It was all done right here.
If you're not in Origsburg, Geisinger also has practices in Pottsville, Mahanoy, and Frackville. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Origsburg.
And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 941, Big 4 6660. Quinto 12420, and the treasure hunt 15, 16, 20, 25, 26. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Holy Door Mission Friary will be holding a pilgrimage for peace on Sunday, September 22nd. Come and join the Friary for good food, a concert, confession, prayer services, and spiritual reflections. For more information, please call 570-788-1212, extension 406. Also, the Pottsville Area Development Corporation will be sponsoring a lunch and learn program for anyone interested in starting their own business. The First Step program will be held Monday, September 30th at 10 a.m. in the Padco building. For more info or to register, please call 570-628-4647. And finally, the next meeting of the Greater Shenandoah Area Historical Society is set for 6 p.m. on October 1st in the History Center. The meeting is open to the public, and there is no admission fee. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Patricia Flanagan of Penn Lake. Service will be held Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for the McLaughlin's family funeral service. Friends may call Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Janice Marie LaRocque of Sugarloaf. Funeral is Saturday at noon from the Black Creek United Methodist Church. Friends may call Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon at the church. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Michael Henry Bellitz of Tresco. Services will be private and under the direction of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. And Josephine S. Demshock, formerly of Hazleton. Mass will be held Saturday at 10:30 a.m. in the St. Cyril Methodius Parish at the Church of St. Joseph. Friends may call Saturday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Doves of White, serving Schuylkill and surrounding counties, call 570-205-1597. And also tonight, they are brought to you by Leonard's Fine Dining, 615 East Broad Street in Hazleton. In your time of need, we can help you plan a funeral brunch or luncheon. Call 570-501-9600.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Well, we didn't get everything in like we wanted to yesterday. Rain, thunder, and lightning. Well, it actually interfered on a couple of things. We'll tell you about that in a minute. Now, today it's carried over, and the stuff that's being run outdoors, well, that's it's definitely a problem. Let's take a look. We'll start with the boys soccer. Now, we did not get a report from anybody in the Schuylkill League. We could tell you Hazleton-Pittston area has been affected by that one, and they don't have a makeup date on that as of yet. No word either from MMI, but common sense is telling you definitely doubtful. We can say that. Girls soccer, same thing. MMI Nanticoke, we know that one is off. MMI Nanticoke is definitely off, and we'll let you in on any of the details. Tennis, MMI Valley West, Pottsville, Tamaqua. We don't have anything to report on that, but again, unlikely considering the way the weather is out there. Girls volleyball, never a problem with the weather. Berwick coming in, Hazleton area, Marion hosting MMI, PV, and Tamaqua home as well. Yesterday, we could just fill in and tell you the golf match between Hazleton area and Wyoming Valley West was postponed. They're going to play that on Monday. That'll be the 16th. And no makeup date on Pittston and Hazleton area girls tennis. Again, thunder, lightning, rain, and they couldn't play any tennis. Now, the things that they did get in yesterday include cross country. And Minersville had no problem on the boys' side as they ran away from Marion, as you see, despite Matt Greenfield put in a pretty good time, 21 minutes. Now, Marion did come back, and they edged Nativity. That's on the boys' side. Now, on the girls' side, Minersville had absolutely no trouble as they basically put a shutout on Marion. So that's the way it went there. Other Schuylkill League action. Monoy area on the boys' side. Winners over Shenandoah Valley, Columbia Montour. They knocked off Monoy area, so a split for the Bears. On the girls' side, Shenandoah Valley and Monoy split. Shenandoah Valley, they beat Monoy, but Monoy beat Columbia Montour Votech. So, as we said, split it down the middle. Soccer yesterday, boys style. Shutout for Dallas, 4-0 over Hazleton area. Girls soccer, Wyoming area, 4-1 winners over the Lady Cougars down at Maple Manor yesterday. On the links, Marion tops William Valley as Mark Postapak fired a 78, very impressive score. And North Schuylkill, they edged Tamaqua, Hunter Minkiewicz, a 76. That's even better than a 78. So some good golf there. And in the Schuylkill League, as we said, reason those scores are higher, they play the entire 18. Well, the Governor's Cup final is tied at 1 game apiece. That's because the Tampa Bay AAA team Durham edged Pawtucket last night 2-1. So they are off until Friday when the series will shift venues and go up to New England. It's tied, as we said, 1 game apiece. Now, the Major League club in Tampa would be wishing they could be as successful as what's going on in AAA. The wild card lead is down to 1 for Tampa. That's that second wild card spot. And the Yankees are the team that are now 1 game behind them. They beat the Orioles last night, game 4 of the finale in Camden Yards tonight, weather permitting. The Mets in Washington, Phils in San Diego playing out the string, and the Pirates still 1 game behind the St. Louis Redbirds. They're playing the Cubbies in Pittsburgh tonight. NFL, it's Thursday night football, right? We got to get you back in that groove. It's the New York Jets and the New England Patriots in a division rivalry game. The Jets, of course, and the Patriots both won in week 1, so it should be interesting. What happens tonight, you know, with football, doesn't matter what the weather, they're going to play. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The grandstand opens up at 12 noon. Racing starts at 2. Just $10 for grandstand admission. Kids under 10 are free. And if you're active military or a senior, you get a $2 discount. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway. We're giving away 2 grandstand admission tickets to this weekend's race. Call us right now, 459-9813, and if you're the third caller, you can claim your tickets at the race with proper ID. Hey, that's a pretty interesting ticket.
Well, the bride was a vision in white, the groom dapper in his tux, and it was one doggone wedding. And as Mike Madry tells us, it was all for the enjoyment of folks who live at a local assisted living center.
It had all the ingredients for a wedding at the Fritztown Assisted Living Center. A cake, a crowd, and the proper scenery. Only thing abnormal? There were 2 dogs getting married instead of people.
Today is wedding day, so we had a dog wedding. We had Buddy and Ruby get married today. So we had a little wedding, we had bridesmaids, groomsmen, we have a dog cake, we have a cake for the residents.
So why the big ceremony? Well, it's Assisted Living Week across America, so organizers at the Assisted Living Center in Drums wanted to put together a fun week of activities for the residents.
There's a theme to National Assisted Living Week, and it's family, friends, and we picked the wedding as one of the themes this week.
Most people we spoke to today say they've never been to a wedding like this. However, the turnout surprisingly ended up pretty good.
I thought it was great. We even had people from the outside today come to see the dog wedding.
I think it definitely put a smile on all the residents' faces, especially seeing them dressed up too.
Residents will be enjoying activities just like this all week long. Mike Madry, News 13, Drums.
Just too cute. Plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. Should armed guards in school be allowed to use deadly force in case of a threat? One area district answering yes. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.